What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys exactly what marches I used in my recent KVK in 2359, where we had a 4-day Kingsland against 1846, and I managed to gain 3.3 billion kill points. So guys, let's get into the video, and I'm going to share all of the details with you right now. All right, guys, so welcome back to the video. Now, as you can see, we are looking at my profile right now. This is after the KVK has officially ended, or it is ending tomorrow, I should say. We are at 19.7 billion kill points. Unfortunately, we didn't get all the way to the 20 billion. That was kind of my secondary goal that I had set for myself later on. When Kingsland had been going on for 4 days, and I kind of was like, oh my god, we're so close to 20 billion kill points, but unfortunately we didn't get quite there. So we did still manage to get 3.3 billion kill points in this KVK. Now 3.3 billion kill points, I've never managed to get that much before, guys. I've played so many KVKs. All right, you know my account is kind of old, but I've never managed to get that before. And this really was all thanks to this insane KVK that we played. It was my first KVK here in Kingdom 2359. So I want to also thank Kingdom 2359 for allowing me to join this great kingdom and participating in one of the most epic KVKs of all time. I think many of you guys are going to be remembering this KVK for quite some time. We had some absolutely epic streams, guys, on the channel. So guys, with that said, let's go take a look at the marches that I was using here on the account. Now, I want to also just be completely honest with you guys. Some of these marches here were a little bit mix and match. Like I was using, a few different configurations throughout the KVK, but I'm just going to be sharing with you today what my absolute top 7 marches were. If I was going to go out and fight right now, these are the marches that I would use. And this was also a little bit of just figuring out what were the best marches fighting against 1846. And these just seem to really work well for me. So to start it off, guys, we're going to go into my archer commander here. And this is the QSH, which I did end up pairing with the Zhuguoliang. Now, guys, I'm just going to be honest. I was using QSH with YSG earlier on, and it does perform, extremely well. There's no doubt about it. And we were running Zhuguoliang with like Philip, I think, as the second archer march. But then I ended up changing it, okay? And I'm going to explain why in a little bit. But we ended up running QSH with Zhuguoliang, and this is the primary archer march here. So I am running my main set here. So this is like my best archer set, and we have the Dragon's Breath full set. Actually, everything is crit here. You can see all the pieces on the equipment here are crit. And actually, guys, I will say this accessory here, you can see I do have the crit Eternal Knight. Now, this was such a good moment for me because right before the level 8 pass opened for Kingsland, I actually crafted that on stream and we got an instant crit. It was such a good moment because I really don't experience that very often, like getting an instant crit on the spot. So especially to get that on stream, and plenty of you guys who are subscribed to the channel, you'll know like I don't really have that so-called streamer luck. I've crafted so many things on stream and it's just been like an epic fail. So for me to have that happen right before Kingsland, was just the icing on the cake. And that is such a good accessory for the QSH. So obviously I removed the ring and I was running the Pendant of Eternal Night with the crit horn there. So this is like my best set that I have on all of my equipment by far. And it is obviously such an amazing commander pairing as well. The QSH with Zhuguoliang along with that equipment just makes it even more beautiful. Now, looking at the elements here, okay, so I do have one legendary inscription, which is of course the Hunter inscription, and then we have a couple of other nice inscriptions as well. Now, obviously I do have one other legendary inscription, which is the balanced inscription for archers, but I did decide to remove that from this QSH march because, again, with the QSH, there are a couple of changes that you need to sort of make in order to optimize that march. So actually, if we go to the next march, like I'll show you why. So this is obviously the second archer march here. And if we just go straight to the formation here, okay, you can see I do have the legendary balance inscription. And going back to the QSH, like the reason why I removed it is because this balance inscription only works when your rage is over 80%. And the way that the rage like system works with QSH is it becomes quite rare for you to actually get that 80% rage. For some reason with the QSH, just the way that that mechanic works for his skill. So I decided that it was better for me to use the balance inscription. It's still a really great inscription, but we're going to be using that on the second archer set here, which is the Shahar Hermit. And this is still, of course, skill damage based as well. And the stats here are not too bad. Now, just quickly looking at the equipment here, just to show you guys. So you can see I've got that like KVK weapon and the helm, along with the 2 pieces of the Dragon's Breath, and then we have 2 pieces of the leadership. And also we have the level 5 ring. I know that looks a little bit weird. The reason why is because usually that level 5 ring would be on the primary archer march. But again, because of like the QSH requiring a few of those changes, obviously I replaced the ring with the pendant of Eternal Night, and that's why the ring is sitting over here. I know it looks a little bit strange having that level 5 ring, but that's kind of the backstory of why that is there on the Shahar. And obviously, you know, the rest of the equipment here is nothing insane, but like for the second archer march, it's also not too bad either. So that's what it's looking like right now. And guys, I'm gonna be honest, the Shahar Herman is actually a really, really nice march. I honestly found it a lot. I found these 2 archer marches, for me personally, was a lot better than the previously run options that I was using. So I was, like I said, previously I was using the QSH with YSG, and then I was using the Zhuguoliang with Philip. And then later on in the KVK, I switched them around to these options here, which is QSH and Zug, and then the Shahar with Herman. And I'm telling you guys, this is a seriously good march. I don't really care what anyone says about the Shahar not being in the meta and stuff. Guys, seriously, it is a good march, especially for your second archer march, okay? It works really well with the Herman as well. They both are doing skill damage. So also the Herman is providing some AoE, which makes up for the lack of AoE that Shahar is doing. And there is quite a nice synergy there. Honestly, I'm telling you guys, it works really well. Also, one other nice thing about this march, the Shahar Herman, not only does it work pretty good in the field, like you're going to get some decent reports with this in the field. This is also one of the best marches that you can swarm with. There were a couple of times throughout the KVK, I used this exact march. I think I was using my like better gear, like disregard the gear set right there. But this commander combo, right? The Shahar with Herman, such a good combo for swarming flags as well. So not only does it work well in the field, you can also just chuck it on a flag to swarm, and you're gonna, not only are you gonna be providing the rest of your team all of those debuffs that the Herman is putting onto that flag, which is making that flag garrison take that additional skill damage from the poison, which is really good for your teammates, okay? That's really good for your teammates, but you're also going to get a really sick report after the swarm. I don't think I ever took a negative trade when I swarmed with the Shahar Herman, and also 9 times out of 10, it was trading pretty positively on the field as well, while it's also buffing the rest of my skill damage commanders on the field. So I would highly recommend this, guys, as a second archer march. I know that it might be a less popular option over some of the other archer configurations, but this, I'm telling you guys, it's really, really good. If you do have a Shahar, I'm not saying that you should invest in Shahar, but if you do have a Shahar, you should really consider trying out these 2 archer marches here. Okay, so guys, now let's go into the infantry. And I'm also going to say this was the first KVK that I ever was able to run 3 infantry marches. So that was quite an experience for me. Also, like, infantry are just super good right now. They have some really good options for commander pairings. So I just thought, you know, this is the perfect KVK for me to run 3 infantry marches. So the first one that I was using is, of course, the BQ, which is the latest addition in the infantry open field commanders. And I was pairing him with Philip. And guys, this is such a good pairing. Okay, the BQ with Philip. So Philip just really enhances the BQ. You can see here that when you're only running with one unit type, it is increasing that damage by 30%. Which is just super powerful, and it works so well with the smite damage. It is not exclusive to skill damage or anything. Like, you can just use that with whoever you like, and it just works super good with the BQ. So that is my primary infantry set. Also, one other quick little recap of what we crafted this KVK. I did also craft these 2 accessories this KVK as well. So we managed to get the crit horn there. That was not an instant crit, by the way, but we did get the crit horn either way. And we also crafted the Greatest Glory, which I think is just super good for boosting that smite damage. Of course, smite damage is run off the normal damage, which you are getting off the Greatest Glory. So that is what I decided to craft for this KVK. And we are using the 4 out of 6 bonus for that march speed that is really necessary for the infantry march speed. So that is my set there. That's kind of like my best infantry set, and we decided to put that on the BQ. Now we're going to go take a look at the pincer formation, which is, of course, on the BQ as well. So this is quite a nice inscription that I have here. We do have the airtight legendary inscription, along with the other legendary inscription toppler. So these are both increasing the smite damage by quite a bit, and they're really nice inscriptions. Also, you can see the stats there are pretty good as well. Now, also just quickly showing you guys some of these support skills. So of course we were playing the heroic anthem, which does have the support skills. This Queen Tamar support skill was extremely good for the smite damage, giving that extra 10% bonus to normal damage. So that was what made this march even stronger as well. I just wanted to point that out just very quickly there. Now we are also going to look at the next second infantry march. Now this is going back to the classic LC with Alex combo. This has been such a great combo over the years for many KVKs now, and of course it is still doing extremely well, especially with the fact that I am running 3 infantry marches for this KVK. So of course we were going to go back to the classic LC and Alex combo. So looking at the infantry set here, again, it is a slightly different configuration to the previous one. However, it is still giving us that extra march speed, which I, really emphasize you guys to push. March speed is especially important for infantry and archers as well. So this is my second infantry set. And then if we go straight to the arc formation, which I have equipped here on the LC. So I do think, again, this is pretty common knowledge, but like the arc formation just works really well when you're using that with LC and Alex, for example, because it is giving that extra normal damage bonus. And that still works with Alex as well. Like, it's not, because Alex is not obviously doing smite damage, but it is still going to enhance his ability somewhat too. So it is kind of like, if you're using the LC Alex, I just think arc formation is still kind of preferable over the pincer. So it kind of just works out well for me. This is like not a bad formation set that I've got here. It's nothing like crazy, but it's also pretty good. Let's go take a look at the next third infantry march that I was running here. And this is, of course, the Ragnar Prime with the Scipio Prime. So the 2 Prime commanders. And guys, not too bad, this configuration here with the Ragnar and the Scipio. It is definitely like the next infantry march to get benched out of the 3 options here. But considering that we still have, like, if we just go take a look at the wedge formation here, like, I've got a pretty decent wedge formation here for infantry, and I didn't want to let it go to waste, which is why we did decide to use the 3 infantry march configuration for this KVK. And also, by the way, I don't have 3 infantry equipment sets, so we were actually using the leadership set here. You guys know, like, or you might have heard me talk about this leadership set before. I just think it's such a good set in terms of the versatility that it offers on your account. And really, like, it's, you know, I don't have this crit, or it's not iconic level or anything like that. It's just a basic leadership set, but it is still really good in terms of versatility. You can literally put this set on any commander that you like as, like, you know, your additional march. Like, I'm not saying that you should do this for your, like, best march or whatever. Obviously not. But if you're running 7 marches in the field, you know, and the meta shifts a lot, guys, you got to keep in mind the meta is always shifting in this game. So to have a leadership set like this, and then just being able to shift that leadership set onto whoever is, like, kind of in the meta at the time, just really helps a lot. So this was the first KVK, like I said, running 3 infantry, and I was able to utilize this leadership set for this purpose, and it worked out quite well for me. One thing I will quickly say about the Ragnar, though, like, if we just quickly leave this screen and we go over to Ragnar Prime. So I actually did have to change some of the talent trees for Ragnar, because honestly, like, I didn't have some of these march speed talent trees equipped. But you can see here, like, I did end up changing a little bit of stuff around. If you don't have the extra march speed on this Ragnar Prime, I'm telling you, it's gonna probably do really, really badly. But after I changed the talent tree and we decided to, like, put in some of this extra march speed, obviously I can't remember exactly what I like removed, but we did, like, kind of remove some of the, like, extra attack stats or whatever, something like that, in order to get that extra march speed. But I'm telling you guys, it is 100% worth it with the Ragnar. Like, he's just so slow. He's only got a 10% march speed bonus. So, like, you really, really want to make sure that you have that march speed equipped in his talent tree. But after I did that, he actually did, you know, reasonably okay. But I just wanted to point that out real quickly there. So, guys, we're now going to be looking at this is my 6th march that I was running. And this was, of course, the Cavalry March, the Huo, paired with Joan of Arc Prime. There was kind of a lack of support skills in this heroic anthem for Cavalry, especially because I'm not really, like, a Cavalry main, or I never, like, built this account towards Cavalry so much until, like, way down the track. So I don't have, like, these older commanders like Genghis Khan maxed on my account. But luckily I had the support skill at, like, level 4, so it's not so bad anyway. And of course, this is boosting, like, skill damage, so this is going to be completely useless on the Delta formation commanders. It is only going to be working on the Huo, which is why I have it there on this main march here. So if we go look at the gear that I have, so we do have, like, a fully crit cavalry set here. It's not a bad set, you know, this is just built for open field. I still think it works really good. Also, this Ash of Dawn, this level 2, guys, I am so, like, jealous of Cavalry, to be honest, like, in terms of how powerful this gear set is. You know, I'm gonna quickly mention this right now, guys. Like, if you go look at the level 2 iconic set for the Ash of the Dawn, do you know they have a massive advantage over any other leg set in the game? I'm telling you guys, I'm going to show you right now, okay? Level 2 iconic for the Ash of the Dawn. Okay, this is with a crit bonus. They have a 3% health bonus just on the legs here for Cavalry. Now, if we go back over to the BQ, all right, we do have a crit piece here for the Eternal Knight, which is, of course, infantry related. Okay, now if you get this to level 2, you're only getting enemy health ignored up to 1.5%. okay, keep that in mind. 1.5% with a crit bonus, enemy health ignored. That is from your infantry legs here, the Eternal Knight, right? Now, if we also have a look at the Archer set, I'm just showing you guys, I'm just complaining right now. I know I'm complaining. I'm a Cav hater, guys. All right. This is the same deal for the Archers. Enemy health ignored, 1.5%. This is a crit piece as well. Don't tell me it's only for crit. These are both crit, and you're only getting that 1.5% enemy health ignored. All right. One more time, back to the Cav one. Level 2 iconic, boosting 3% cav health. How is that even fair? Honestly, that is not fair, guys. But anyway, that's why if you have this piece, Ash of the Dawn, guys, I'm telling you, make sure that you boost this up to level 2, because you are going to get a really good deal. You're literally getting a 2-for-1 deal here. It is 2 times more powerful than any other leg set in the game. So yeah, Cav, guys, what is with Cav being so powerful with their gear? Anyway, I guess they have to kind of give them some sort of good gear, considering that Cavs are not really in the meta right now. But that is, I'm sure it's all going to change very soon. You know, with the meta shifts coming up, as we said, that meta shift is always happening, and it's really hard to keep up with. But guys, this of course was the March that I was running, the hero with Joan. It still did pretty good, considering, you know, that these are like slightly older commanders. It still did really well, to be honest. Not as good as the other like archer marchers and infantry, but anyway, this is what I was running. And if we look at the wedge formation, you know, this is again built for open field. I'm not like a rally lead or anything for Cav, but we have like a legendary inscription, and the stats are also fairly decent. Now, if we go to the 7th March, I was running the Arthur with William. And this is, of course, with the Delta formation that we have down here. So I have been working on the Delta formation slowly, and this is what we have right now. Again, it's pretty good for open field. Like, we have 3 rare inscriptions. The stats are not so bad. And also, I'm super excited because we won the KVK. I will also be able to buy the legendary inscription for this Delta formation. I think that's what I'm probably going to buy. So guys, stay tuned as well. We're probably going to do a live stream later on when we win the KVK, and I'm going to go like buy the inscription from the Autarch shop, and we're going to go through the KVK and look at all the stats as well. So make sure that you stay tuned for that live stream. We're going to be doing that later on. So definitely go and check that out. And also, this is the 2nd Cavalry equipment set here. So it's actually very similar to the 1st Cavalry set that I pointed out to you guys. The only difference is we do have that KVK weapon, and we do have the KVK helm as well. And of course, you can see I did the exact same trick here with the Ash of the Dawn, like with that level 2 iconic that I pointed out earlier. So that is just a must have. If you do have this set, make sure that you go and do that right now. It is just super powerful. So yeah, that is like the marches that I was running, guys, for this KVK. We managed to get 3.3 billion KP against one of the toughest kingdoms in the game, 1846. It was one of the funnest KVKs that I have ever played, guys. I absolutely loved every single minute of this KVK. And again, guys, I just want to thank you all for supporting the channel. For all of you who tuned into my live streams for this KVK, you know, I had such a good time with you all. It was so much fun, and I can't wait to do it again next KVK. So guys, if you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. We're going to have a lot more live streams coming up. And now that we're in Kingdom 2359, I think every single KVK should hopefully be super exciting. And now we are entering into off season, so we've got time to regain our speed ups. Guys, thank you all again. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that some of these marches that I used maybe will give you some ideas as well on what to run for your accounts. Anyway, with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video, and make sure to stay tuned for the live stream coming up ahead later on today.